There it is. Hello, everybody, and welcome. We are here. We are live. We are ready to go. And we are here in Kerbal-sized real solar system. For those people that don't know, this is the real solar system mod, but scaled down to Kerbal scale, so that the Earth here is the same scale as Kerbal, but the rest of the solar system to scale is the real world solar system rather than what you would see in the stock game. And along the ride, we got tons of other mods. You can check the whole list down in the description, and they are mods that actually are not meant to all go together. Like you can mix and match these mods to your heart's content. And where we're at, well, we're here at the Kerbal Space Center, obviously. And I got this, actually, why don't we start with that? I have this Moon Probes program. This is coming from the Strategia mod. And it's going to reward me if I land. Doesn't have to be crewed, so just probes would be good, but who knows when we get into it. But to land in 3 different biomes on the moon, and it's going to greatly reward me, and then I can go on and start into some other programs. So to kind of build towards those particular landings in different places on the moon, I think today good plan would be to go in and get a relay system going. A system of 3 relay satellites around the moon, and we can talk about putting those in, and I'm hoping that will work out really well. I also have, looking at other, let's just look at the other contracts here. I got these low resolution altimetry SCANsat scans of the Earth. These are ongoing. You can see one's at 39% of the necessary 75% of the map, and the biome one is at 33% of the necessary 75% of the map. And to show people what those are about, here's what they're about. They are mapping satellites in polar orbit about the Earth, slowly mapping the Earth for us. So that'll be a lot more exciting when it's closer to being done. Whoops, wrong button. There we go. And the other one I got is this rescue tfsm 389. That is one of the supporters of this channel, but he needs to be rescued from orbit of Earth. And to show you the orbit, we'll go into the tracking station here, because it isn't just a low orbit. I meant to grab a whole bunch of low orbit ones, and then I grabbed this one by mistake. And this is our Kerbal out here in this rather inclined orbit. You can see altitude is up over 18,000 kilometers. That would put it past the moon in the stock game. In this game, though, that is within the moon's orbit. It's also inclined. So I worked out that my Onion 2 spacecraft, which you have seen fly before, which is very overbuilt, is capable of getting out there. So I'm thinking probably the first thing I want to do is get that contract out of the way. So I've got myself, if I open up this, go into the VAB, I do have an Onion 2 spacecraft sitting in reserve. There it is. And I got a backup one. I should always just keep one building. I just started this one building. It's going to take like 6 days for it to build, but that one's being built as well. And we'll make that our first mission. But before we do any of that, I do want to go into here. I want to take a look at contracts, because between the 2 streams over the last week, I have been eyeing some of them, and I made myself a little list. And one of them is, if I go into Comm Relays, I do have, and you can see all the other ones. These are like Moon and then Mercury. Yeah, these are a little more ambitious as you make your way down. But what I'm interested in is this place relay satellite in orbit about the moon. And I want to place 3 of them. And as long as the orbit is below 1,100 kilometers, it will be, because I want to get in an orbit below that. It'll be good. So I'm going to grab that one. Boom. There we go. And I'm also, if I go down here and take a look at, let me get them right, the satellites one. These are the stock position satellites one. I happen to have a position a satellite in a specific orbit of the moon. Now, this isn't the orbit that I want, but there's no reason why I can't satisfy this particular contract and then use that you know, then leave it and put it into something that's more suitable for a relay. So they sort of kill two birds at the same stone. Now, one thing I always got to be careful about with these, because I miss this stuff, is there is mention of science. There's an accelerometer that needs to be on the satellite and a thermometer that needs to be on the satellite. So must not forget about that. But I'll grab that one. And I also, while I'm at it, since we are going to be targeting the moon a lot over the next little while, if I go into SCANsat official, there we are. I do have 2 contracts to do a low resolution scan about the moon and a biome scan, multispectral scan of the moon. I'm going to grab both of these. These are the sister contracts to the ones I just showed you that were going around the Earth. Probably won't be happening today, but I figured might as well get those kind of going. Let's do that. So what I need to do, let's do the rescue contract first. That's going to be the first thing. So we're going to go here into the tracking station. And I do need to concern myself with a launch window. I wish I didn't have to see these. Ignore these colored orbits. They're for contracts I didn't even accept. But I'm thinking I probably should try and go into something close to this inclination. I don't know what... If I click on them, can I see the inclination of that orbit? I go orbit info. Isn't that down here somewhere? No. Okay, never mind. But, sorry about that. I thought I had that on Do Not Disturb. Okay. I think I'm going to need to launch... I'm just trying to figure out the window. This is the KSC here, because we are in... I'm thinking I'm just going to go for it. I want to end up in an orbit that's at least reasonably close to this inclination. I don't know what its inclination is, but we're at here, and as we launch, we'll come towards the south, and we'll end up in an orbit that's going to be inclined. Maybe not the same incline. I think it's going to be good enough. So why don't we just go into here? Oops, into here. And let's launch that thing. Just do it. And the other thing I want to do is I want to upgrade the tracking station. And the main reason, I got a lot of money, 1.1 million Kerb bucks. But the main reason I want to upgrade it is because that will give me all the Kerbal Engineer stuff without having to put on a Kerbal Engineer thing. But unfortunately, that is going to take, it doesn't upgrade right away. Go to tech. It is going to take, nope, there it is. 15 days. Oh my gosh. So it's going to take 15 days, but we'll get that started. Okay, let's roll the Onion 2 out to the launch pad. Let's get this going. Of course, that just messed things up here, didn't it? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's see. Are we still in a good... No, see, now we're not in a good spot. So we're going to time warp here a bit. Would have been a night launch anyway. I certainly don't want to do that. I want the KSC to be up towards the top here. I don't like that this guy's bugging me. Let's see. How's that looking? Not necessarily trying to match the inclination, but just kind of being in the ballpark of it. That should be good. We'll see how that works out. I keep pushing M to get out of map view, but I'm not in map view. That was the tracking station. This thing, when you don't have the KSC on the equator, there's all kinds of other things you got to think about. Okay, VAB. We're going to launch. This has got to go up empty. It only has one seat, but it does have a probe core. So that should... There'll be one seat available for our rescuee. That's going to be it. Hello, Brickamass. Glad you can join us. And eventually, there we are. And I think just I'm losing track of what my programs are. I do have some sort. I got one called Orbit, so I'm just going to run Orbit. It should be good, right? I think so. That's a KOS program, of course. And we're off. And yeah, I got smart parts set up here to deal with all the staging, so that should be it. Let's get our contract set up here. So we are going to be doing the rescue tfsm 389 from orbit of Earth right here. And get this window going. This is the Onion 2, named after, of course, the Onion capsule up there at the top of the thing. And you know what the thing is, I'm finding myself perpetually thinking and flipping between doing this and doing RP1. You wouldn't think they're just similar enough. You wouldn't think so. Like RP1's obviously a lot more involved, but there is like I have different KOS programs, and how does this one work compared to that one? And I'm constantly having to pause and think, am I doing the right thing? I think I'm doing the right thing. Also want to get some more science going as well. I do have a probe with a magnetometer. Where is the right window here? About the moon. If I find the magnetometer, right there. And it is collecting science, and I'm really waiting for it to be done. Oh, it has done none low. Once it's done all the high space stuff, I'm going to move that orbit down. But you can see it's only done about 40% of the high space science, so that's still got a ways to go. I like the fact, though, that you can monitor these things from other ships. Like, in fact, I can even go from here to this one, the Lunar 1. See, I can monitor it here. I can see what science is running, how much science it's collected. I find that really cool that you can do a lot of working with your spacecrafts without ever leaving the spacecraft you're on. Okay, how's this doing here? Put that on. We have reduced the thrust. Even though I know last week I had somebody talking about how this it does save a tiny amount. I will admit it is a tiny amount when you have a big engine and you save the thrust and you reduce the thrust on it. What would be better is to make this booster smaller, have an even smaller engine on it, and then make the payload bigger with a smaller engine on it. Like, realizing you don't need that much thrust, the real saving comes into the fact that you can reduce the size of your engines once you're at sort of the upper part of your orbital insertion. That's where the real savings come in. So the stage has got just a little bit left in it, about 15 seconds, and then we'll be on to just a little Terrier engine up here. Should also be, oh, guess not. Okay, let's do the fairing. I guess the fairing's not automated. What mods am I using? The whole list is down there in the description. So it would be too much to go over really right now. Yeah. But I guess the main ones, you can see KOS working here. Not a lot of part mods, keeping that under control. I do have the DLCs installed, giving me this. I do have Restock installed, which gives you some parts and also retextures all the parts. So I think, frankly, they look better. But not a lot, you know, on parts, not much. But a lot of gameplay mods. Kerbalism is another big one, working its way over here. Let's tuck this up here. All right. Yeah, I'm seeing in the comments there about KSRSS is a chore to set up, and it certainly is. It is a chore. And in fact, the version that I'm using right here isn't even available on CCAN. You have to install it from a GitHub. I did put the link down there in the description, but yeah, it is a chore. I agree. You can decide for yourself whether that chore is worth it or not. Okay, almost there. If I meant to get into my script and have it not reduce the thrust here so much, because it does make the upper, it's not saving me much, and it's just making this whole top part of the insertion just take longer. I can open some doors. There we go. Now that we're in space, got the antenna on the other side. Now it's stopped reducing the thrust and it's building up that time to apoapsis, so this will be done soon now. But I think I should have this stop earlier. I don't know. It's an easy fix. I don't have my Windows set up to show you the fix, so I'm not going to do the KOS. I forgot to open up the visual editor for KOS. Alright, and this is going, I believe, for an 80 by 80 orbit, if I'm not mistaken. That's 78, 79, 80. There, it stopped. And this infinitesimal little burn is all that's left. But what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to stop my program, because I know it has trouble with these really teeny tiny little burns. So I'm just going to do that part manually. Close that. Thrust limiter down. There we go. Okay, let's get to it. Get her done. How about putting the SAS on? There's a thought too. In fact, I can probably just lock it to prograde here. And I hope people are seeing that okay. I can increase that here. Put it in streaming mode. There we go. All right. Time warpy, time warpy. All right, we'll get started a little early. We just won't go quite. Oh, no! Well, that is that. We've just had a critical failure on this engine. That is something that's a possibility. Ouch. Okay. Well, and if they're yellow, you can fix them, and if they're red, you cannot. But I wouldn't have been able to fix them anyway because I don't have a Kerbal aboard. So that's that. Okay, so that's that. There's nothing I can do with this. We had an engine failure. This is meant to just sort of be a little bit more realistic and say stuff can happen. And in this particular case, that stuff is that this engine failed. Now, our periapsis is about 63 kilometers. So this will deorbit. But I know if I left this to deorbit on its own, that periapsis is too high for the game to take it out. It has to be lower than that. I can't remember exactly what the cutoff is, but I know 63 kilometers is too low. So I want this thing. I don't want this thing hanging around. So we'll deorbit it, and we'll I guess we'll launch that other one that was building. Well, that's a pain. Heck, I installed the mods. You can turn that stuff off. Actually, while that's all going, why don't I see if I can get the KOS thing going. There's not much else for me to do. I'm hoping this will deorbit okay. Well, I can see it here. The apoapsis is almost... This will deorbit. Yeah, it failed just before. If it failed while it was still in orbit, then I'd be stuck with it. Or I could send a Kerbal up to fix it. I mean, oh, no, if it's red, you can't fix it. So I would have been done. Well, that would be a pain. Here, I'll show this little brief bit here to you. I think I can show it to you now. If I go to here and go to here. Yeah, there it is. So this is the KOS script, and this is the part that tells it when to stop, how low to go to throttle. So when the throttle gets down to 20%, it says set thrust setting to 20%, and then it says throttle min's now true, which means it's reached its minimum throttle, which means it won't be in this loop anymore. But I might just change that to 30%. Let's see if that's a little better. Just do that right now. Little quick coding change. Save that. We will turn that off. That's what I'm so bad at doing. And okay, this is definitely going down now. Won't take long. And then we'll launch the other one. I could... No, I want to watch the fireworks. I was about to say I could stage it and recover the capsule because I do have a parachute on that capsule, but I got me a feeling it's going to survive this anyway. Oh, I still got this. I still got SAS on. It was still locked to prograde through all that. Okay. So we're... Oh, antenna has broken off. I guess that's not surprising. Yeah, I do like how KOS is deliberately kind of old school in its structure. Even its terminal windows that you see from here, it's like when you saw that terminal window up here before, it was like I love the green type in the Courier font. It's great. All right. Yeah, see, I knew it would survive. So what we'll do... I mean, waste not, want not. Why don't we stage here? Yeah, well, there's no way to have saved that, but we can at least save the capsule. Whoosh. And you're saying it's 50s, 60s. I'm thinking like more... I want to age myself too much, but I learned to program in the very, very early 80s, and to me that looks very familiar. The look of KOS. All right. And it certainly isn't as bad as the old Algo Fortran days. It's very flexible with its way you could use variables, that's for sure, which is nice. Okay, here we go. Cover you, normal recovery. At least we got a little bit of cash back for that. We'll try this again. Hello, Stephen, and welcome. Glad you can make it. Okay. So we'll just do this, and we'll get into here, and we'll get into plans again. We'll push another onion into the queue so we have two of them going. And I guess we'll just warp to the completion of those, and we'll try this again. So warp to that. Roll that out to the launch pad. Okay, once again, do have to pay some attention to launch windows. Oh, I don't know. Get away, build dust. Okay. Where are we here? There's so many orbits all the time. There it is. So again, we will time warp just to get to KSC. And there's nothing precise about this, but just getting the KSC, I think, up here. I think that'll do it. That'll do it. Did you upgrade your engine on the Onion 2? Probably not. And I might have just paid for it there. No, I probably didn't upgrade the engine. That's a very good point. Okay. BAB, launch, recover. Yeah, that's just talking about this silly debris. Recover that, proceed, no pilot, launch. Yeah, definitely I'll get better at upgrading engines. I should, especially for crewed vessels. I mean, that could have happened while, yeah, I should upgrade that engine. Because if that happened after I picked up the rescuee and I couldn't get them down, suddenly now the life resources will be starting to tick down. And I could be in trouble. So, yeah. All right, once again, let's try this once again. Run, orbit, go. Onion 2. And we're off. Yeah, I don't know if I can even see it here. There's the Terrier. Can I see here whether it's I can't tell from here whether I upgraded it or not. It's supposed to be able to run for 4 minutes and 46 seconds and have 23 ignitions. So, I think what happened was definitely an unlucky event. So, hopefully we won't be seeing that again. Right. So, this is, I'm sure, undoubtedly looking quite familiar. I do like this little rocket. For those people that are new to this series, I am cheating a little bit. I'll use the word cheating in quotation marks here. We got a staging event happening, and then I'll point out my little cheat. But that these core cans here are actually Mark 1 liquid fuselages, or those Mark 1 liquid fuel fuselages that are really for airplanes. But if you notice, they do have oxidizer in them because I used Tank Configurator, I believe is the name of the mod, that allows you to change the contents of any tank. I feel comfortable doing that because I really hate, and the stock game does this too, and it's one of my kind of pet peeves with how the tech tree works, and the Kiwi tech tree that I'm using does it as well, where they give you tons of little parts, and then they want you to build rockets by just stacking tons of little tanks on top of each other, and then they give you like a really small part count, so I just don't like it. You know, like restricting the diameter, sure, we can't go big yet. I'm getting that, but restricting the length of the tanks just kind of bugs me, especially when you combine that with a part count limit. I just don't think, I don't know, I don't like it. So I felt totally justified in taking these tanks that were Mark 1 fuselages and just converting them into LFO tanks. And they look good too. At least I think they look good. The upgraded version has 47 ignition, so I'm probably working on the standard Terrier engine. And it also, even if you feel like you're never going to use up those ignitions or that burn time, it does also decrease the chances of something going wrong. So it's not just about run times. Those run times are always averages and stuff. Alright. Again, we're going to be losing this booster in a little bit, and then we'll be back onto that Terrier. Right about what we got here. A few more seconds. Hello. I'm going to try and say it. Neuromorphic replicant. Glad you made it. And we are up rescuing another stranded Kerbal. Oh, this did not. Oh dear. Oh dear. What happened here? We're locked. Okay, sorry. Just a sec. I gotta. There it goes. SAS on, lock it to prograde. So I don't know if people were noticing that, and I reacted pretty quick, but it was the time to... The throttle reduced a lot, but it was the time to apoapsis was like clicking down. It should be at a minimum of 55 degrees, and it was not. It was coming down. It got down to about 33 seconds, and if I let that go, it probably would have just gone past apoapsis and started descending. Clearly, my little change of code messed something up. That little change you saw me do. Live coding and not testing. Not a good plan. Okay. Anyway, we're in orbit now. I ended up aborting this. So that's okay. Well, we're not in orbit yet. Sorry. Our apoapsis is over 80. But I'm glad I noticed that. Or else, but because by the time you're going back down, it might have been too late. And we can't waste a whole ton of fuel doing silly things like going back down only to come back up again. Okay, so we're in space. Open up our doors. Get ourselves to apoapsis. Tiny, tiny little burn here. Let's reduce our throttle. I'll just do this manual like, but our periapsis is at 47 kilometers, so as long as this doesn't blow up on me. Like, again, as long as this doesn't fail on me again. Turn our view to free. I don't know why I like it on free. Free's my favorite view. Alright. Again, this isn't going to be much of a burn, so I'm just watching that time to apoapsis. When it gets close to 0, give it a little bit of throttle. There we go. Might have reduced that thrust limiter a little too much, but it's going to be okay. Alright, happy with that. Let's put this back up again. And let's start looking at getting ourselves a Kerbal. Do a little bit of orienting for the solar panels. Alright, so our Kerbal is right here. Set him as a target. Now, I wasn't paying any attention to where our Kerbal... But actually, this is looking like it's going to work pretty good. I got an inclination difference of about 20 degrees. Yeah, I should have... Well, I couldn't have come into as low a low an inclination as that, so it's probably as good as I could have gotten. But it's looking like our intersect point is going to be pretty close to where our ascending node is. And if that's the case, that worked out really well. Let's get our... Look at that! That worked out really well. That works out great because at the ascending node, of course, we're crossing the orbit instead of like having it to be out here where we would have been quite a ways off from the plane of the orbit. But I'm hoping that I can actually finagle this pretty good. Let's see if I play with the timing a little bit. Get these a little closer. Look at that. Might have to make a tiny correction, but certainly not much of one. A little bit of more prograde. Yeah, we'll just make a tiny correction on the way out there. I think this is pretty good. 178 kilometer separation there. I think I'll just burn that, and then we'll make a little correction out here, and we'll make this all work. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay, so let's F5. I always F5 before we go to do any burns. Did I increase this? I did. I do have, I think. Now I'm not so sure. If I open up my KOS window, I think I have Yes, and execute the maneuver script. So run my execute the maneuver script. Yep, there it goes. It's orienting itself for the solar panels. Still the minute. It's still 24 minutes away. I should have time warped there first. Get rid of that. Open this up. So it is a 54-second burn. But we'll let KOS take care of it. A little bit of a failure of KOS on the way. Wow, I can't say it's a failure of KOS when I'm the one that wrote the program, right? That sounds like a nice jet there, Rins. It's hard to reach supersonic just on with just the opening parts in RP1. One thing with RP1 is it can take a long time to build just about anything. I'm finding in that game. All right, where are we here? Let's a little more time. Okay, and I always find this is a little off from this. Yeah, it's a couple of seconds difference. Oh, burns what the? Okay. I clearly have something wrong. It just said engage and then said immediately burn was complete. I don't know what's up. Okay, I'm going to have to really look at some of this code. I don't know what happened there. My goodness. My goodness, it says, nope, you got, no, burn's good. We're all done. That's okay, we got this. Maybe KOS needs to go get put away for the rest of today. And cut. Alright, let's see how this worked out. I can live with that. And a little bit of a correction around here-ish. So I can see I need to come towards the south. And maybe a little bit radial. I need to make the scale bigger. Maybe a little retrograde. Nope, nope. Yeah, that's doing it. And then a little more south again. Nope, that's worse. Back this way. There we go. You want to get the AN and these guys all around the same zone. That's usually an indication you're in the right ballpark if you can do that. Back to here. A little south again. Oh, I think I'm keep going. I should go this way and this way. Yeah. And then this way and this way. You're not going to get an encounter, stupid. This isn't a body. You just look at the numbers. I was waiting for the encounter, indicator to show up. And of course that doesn't, like when you encounter a body, of course that doesn't matter. So I saw 21.5 kilometers. It really doesn't have to be. Okay, that makes it worse. That makes it better. That makes it worse. I think I'm pretty close. Yeah, I saw 19.8. I think I'm going to leave it at that, and then we'll deal with the rest of it on the way there. Okay, so that is good. That is good. That is good. I do need to reduce this throttle limiter because I saw a 0.6 second burn there. And how are my solar panels doing? I think I'm okay as far as generation goes. Yes, so let's just do a quick save and get out there and do that one. And we're not going to use KOS no more. Yeah, I shouldn't see that many engine failures. I think that was really an anomaly. I'll tell you where this gets really dangerous, though. But I'll talk about it after this. Okay, we're getting... Oh, I don't have to wait for this to get to 0 for this burn, because this is not a precise maneuver. So I should see my close encounter indicators. There they are. So I'm going to watch that, too. Okay, so let's just... let's do this. A little bit of throttle. No reason to rush. And I'm just watching this intersect distance here. I think it was under 20. I know that. Very little throttle. It started to go back up again. 24. Where things get really dicey is after the rendezvous, because when I come within the render distance of tfsm, this Kerbal, the life support for that Kerbal kicks in, and then that Kerbal has only so much time to get themselves back safely to Kerbin. So if I get an engine failure after the rendezvous, then I'm in a lot of trouble. Okay, let's, might just do... What is our rendezvous speed, which gives you the idea how much it's going to cost just to rendezvous, is about 327 meters per second. I still got 1240. I'm fine as far as fuel goes, I'm pretty sure. Just gotta make sure the engine is good. Do I want to do this? Let's try seeing if I can do another maneuver. Closer in here. Tell that's not right. There we go. I saw 8.6. Let's turn the scale down. 4.7, 4.6, 3.2. This will be the last one. I'll do it by after we're under. I saw 1.9. There we go. So we'll do that one last maneuver there, and then now my exposure's still good. Yes. Okay. Again, I'm going to reduce this throttle limiter to teeny tiny amount. No RCS on this thing, so fine maneuvering is all done with the main engine. Hello, Blazing Mellow. Glad you made it. And somewhere along the lines, we'll start seeing a waypoint for that guy. Oh, there's the site experiment in space high above and above the tropics too. Science is coming in, all from satellites I've put into space that are all doing what they should be doing. What are we at now? Oh my gosh, we're at 103.4 science suddenly. Oh my gosh, that's enough for a node. That is enough for a node. Okay. So we'll do this little burn, and then we'll probably just go manual from here. I mean, without maneuver nodes, is what I kind of meant by that. Okay, let's go up to here. Reducing throttle, and I want to get it under 2. That'd be great. There, good. 1.85 kilometers. Okay, so that is coming up in 47 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use alarm clock, and I'm going to add this because I don't trust the game's time warping things, and give me like 5 minutes warning on that upcoming encounter. So we're going to set an alarm here for 41 minutes. We're going to F5 anyway in case that somehow messes up. And we're going to time warp to that. But we have a high relative speed. Relative speed still of 230 meters per second. So got to start thinking about that. Nope, no RCS thrusters. I believe I have them unlocked. I just not put them on. Okay, so time warp is stopping where it's supposed to go, and we will put this on target and rearrange ourselves for that retrograde coming right at us. And there's our target. They just came within 100 kilometers. And I do want to probably increase this throttle limiter because we're going to have to knock off a lot of speed here. And although the speed is really high, what's kind of nice is because you're so far out, like these are almost like straight lines. And so we are coming straight at it rather than that funky curved. You see, the paths are very curved when you're in low orbit, but way up here, it's kind of nice. So we can probably... Now, I got to watch my ignitions. There's 18 ignitions, so I can't be kind of willy-nilly about this. Maybe get myself a little closer. Last thing I want is to render him and then go blowing by because my engine failed. Alright, we're about 2.5 minutes now. I think I need to burn a little bit this way. So I'm just going to give a little bit of throttle. Nope, that's actually making it worse. What way makes it better? There, that's making the distance come down. A little more throttle. I don't want this time 2 to come down. I want more throttle. I want this time 2 to kind of... I'm pushing it too far. Come back this way. I'm trying to limit the number of ignitions I do. If you understand what I'm saying. Okay, reduce throttle. Oh, nope, still going. So rather than cutting engines, just reduce the throttle a lot. I think might be a better plan. Went a little too far. We're 3.5 minutes away again. And the main number I'm looking at is that one. Barely taking off anything, though, on this target distance. What I think I might do is wait until I get this, like, really low and then actually cut the throttle. A little more throttle. As long as this time keeps going down, I'm happy. Oh, I ain't going a little too far. Let's come back. Okay, I'm going to cut throttle, let myself get closer. So we've reduced our relative velocity down to 157 meters per second. Okay, we're under 1.5 minutes from our target, so let's give a little bit of throttle here. Bringing down that distance a little further. Trying to... Oh, yeah. Want to keep this time, too, about a constant. That's how I messed up before, as I wasn't watching it close enough. Back this way. Just kind of keep hoarding this in. Herding it along. Kind of circling around this way. A little bit this way. Back a bit this way. Some people like to just lock on to the retrograde, but I find I end up usually pushing up that distance if I do that. This allows me a little bit of correcting as I go. Again. Alright, I'm going to cut throttle, and that'll probably be one of the last times I cut throttle. How many ignitions? I do have to upgrade that engine. I kind of agree. I don't think I ever did. So, about a minute and a half, but our relative velocity is down to 50 meters per second. Be wary of the total burn time. That is true. That is true. What's my total burn time at? Wait, stop. Time warping, silly. Oh, okay. I'm getting all the warnings because he just came within render distance, but then all these warnings will go green too. You're right. I'm probably spending too much time on total burn time. I don't know. I don't even know where it says anymore. Okay, I'm a little nervous about... Okay, now you guys have made me nervous. Okay, I gotta burn. I gotta burn. We're only 19 seconds away. I might actually not even worry about... Shoot. Get a little closer. And then we might do the EVA. Alright, we're coming in within the rendering distance, or we're definitely well within rendering distance. Let's kind of do our last minute here. Okay, just cut it. Okay, let's get over there. EVA over our Kerbal. So here we have, and we have ourselves an engineer. Excellent. Okay. Oops. Grabbed again. Stop grabbing. Let go. RCS on. He keeps grabbing automatically. Let go. Let me let him float away a little bit. Okay, RCS on. Let's go. Oh, and because he's an engineer, we get the Kerbal engineer stuff popping up. Okay, that's cool. I forgot that that happens. Let's turn this stuff all off for now. Up at the top there, too. Very cool. Okay. But one thing at a time. And board. Okay. Get out of that view. All right. So we have 5 days to get him back based on his energy levels. Here's a neat thing. I can get into Kerbal. Like, this is a pain. I'm still selecting the target, right? But what I can do is if I edit one of my HUDs, switch this to Rendezvous. I love Kerbal Engineer. You are so good. I can pick my target selector. I can also go here to Miscellaneous. I'm going to put in a separator. We're going to take that separator and move it up one. I'll show you what I just did. And now what I can do is I can... go back to target selection, and now I'm no longer targeting that without having to... You ever done that thing where you're trying to right-click on something that's really close to you? It's a pain. Okay, so what I want to do is set up a maneuver. And we got one more burn to do. If we can get our apoapsis or periapsis down into the atmosphere, we're golden, right? This way. You know, I don't know why I'm doing this with a maneuver. All I'm doing is going retrograde. For goodness sakes, just go retrograde. Why am I doing this with maneuver? Anyway, plenty of fuel. That's not the problem. As long as I can get one more burn. Let's switch you around retrograde. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Turn off engineer. This is on, yes, so I'll just throttle. Boom. There we go. We got our ignition in. Okay, so we just got to burn in this direction till we're down to about 35 kilometers. Oh, shoot. Didn't mean to turn it off. Of course, what am I doing? I'm doing this stupid pulsey thing. Don't do that. All right, we're there. 34.8 kilometers. Let's arrange this, get some good solar panel exposure. I'm going to be there in 2 days and 1 hour. Okay. Here we come, Earth. F5 in case something goes terribly wrong, but I think we should be okay at this point. Feels like we're going like right into the planet. Says here though 35 positive, so I probably... Whoa, we're in the atmosphere. Stage. Okay, there we go. And now we have no more SAS because we only have an engineer. Only an engineer. And this is our first time dropping one of these capsules from this high up, but it should be okay. I certainly hope so, as I see a heat bar come up. Where are we, by the way? Anybody recognize this geography? Got a chain of islands right below us. It's hard to spot sometimes. Where are we? We are... Oh! Okay. Oh, over the Caribbean there. That's... Okay. We're not that far from home. Florida is over that way. And we're through. And I think I'll ease off on the rescues. This is my third rescue. I've picked up 2 scientists and an engineer. So that's actually a pretty nice little crew I think we got. We have a crew of 2 pilots, Jeb and Val, then 2 engineers and 3 scientists. I think that's pretty good. So I'll ease off on those for a little bit, but if I need more Kerbals down the road, I know where I can get them. Yeah, that's right. He can just hang out over here. I don't know my Caribbean islands well enough, but I have very little doubt that it's very pleasant over there. And the long, I'm at 4 times speed, but it's still going to take a while. Oh, Rins, you called that with South America. I'm assuming you said that before I went to map view. Okay, here we are, and recover. Normal recovery. All right, so what's also the nice thing about doing a recover or getting your Kerbals this way, number one, you don't have to pay to hire them. I guess you're paying for the rocket, but then again, you get rewards for it. So I bet you those two wash each other out. But also, you can blow right by the limit that you have on your astronaut complex. I'm pretty sure the astronaut complex says I can only have 12 Kerbals, but I can blow right by that if I keep rescuing. Anyway, that's done there. Awesome. We can get rid of that. Got all kinds of messages. Oh my gosh. You always get these messages of stages being destroyed, but I think this is the one we're interested in. Yes, well done. tfsm 389 Kerman has been recovered in one piece and is now enjoying a thorough debriefing from the comfort of his quarantine cell. Okay, we'll just delete all those now. And I'll recover these because they annoy me. All right, so let's start thinking about... Actually, sorry, I still got... Okay, messages are gone. I have new science. I have, what is 108.2 science here. I could go down the aviation route. I've not really built a plane. No, I wanted to go down capsules. That's what I'm thinking about. So this is the Mark 1 capsule, and what I would really like to get... Oh, I already have the P unlocked. I could build a 2 crewed. Whoa, I'm behind the clock here. Okay, so we can build a 2 crewed capsule. We have illuminator lights. Oh, station parts. Look at all these beautiful, gorgeous station parts. I'm not even sure where they're coming from. Oh my gosh. And work lights. I might be completely distracted by all these lovely dovely station parts. So that's 85. I could do the... Oh, there's the grab max. That's a good thing for generating science and more SCANsat stuff. If I go up here and take a look at rocket parts, I got these SRBs that I'm never going to use. But... Oh, there's RCS. Maybe that's what I should think about. Do I have any kind of RCS? I'm not sure I do. I just want to check in the VAB if I have any form of RCS blocks. And if not, I think I'm going to make it that. Because if I want to get into doing stuff in orbit, stations, rendezvousing, all that kind of stuff, RCS would be, I think, a good plan. All right, so do I have, what do I got here? No, the only RCS block I have is not even a block. It's a place anywhere linear RCS port. So I think I'm going to unlock RCS. I'm going to keep using my cheat for my fuel tanks. But I want to start getting Kerbals, start rendezvousing, docking. I love all that stuff. So I think I got what I need to build a probe that can land on the moon. I'm not worried too much about that end of it. So I think I will go up here. No, those are solid rocket motors. Here we go. We got RCS blocks, bigger reaction wheels, launch escape system. I like that. And then an upgrade on reaction wheels, upgrade to probe bodies. Yeah, let's go this way. Of course, that's going to also take some time to research, but that's all in the future. Let's get into here and let's start thinking about those relays for the moon. I said that was going to be the thing that this is about, and we're an hour into this stream, and I've yet to do anything about making relays. Okay, so we'll... Oh, shoot. I also... Shoot. We've been talking about upgrading engines. I'm going to do that right now. I know, going back and forth. This is... Load screens are annoying, but... which tech tree are we using? I am using the Kiwi tech tree. Sorry, I wanted to, very quick, go into the VAB and edit this onion and upgrade that Terrier engine. Because I think people are right. I shouldn't be working on that terrible engine. And upgrading costs a little, makes it a little more expensive, makes it a little heavier, but it's well worth it. Yeah, Kiwis, and it's not the tech tree I started this whole series with. I actually switched tech trees partway through. Okay, let's get the Terrier, and we're going to increase the engine quality. We've got a lot more burn time, a lot more ignition. Engine quality is high. We will not... I always find... I was talking about this on my Discord. There are 3 different places now to save this change that I made. One is to save it to the VAB. Another is if I open up the Kerbal construction time window, is to save these edits to the one that's being built. And then finally, the last one is to save it to the plans for this vessel, which I don't even think I have access to here. I don't think I do. So we're going to save those edits. But it's very easy to have the vessel that's saved in those 3 locations, the stock save menu, the Kerbal Construction Time build queue, and in the plans for Kerbal Construction Time. It's really easy to get those all out of sync. At least for me, it definitely is. So you gotta be careful with that. Okay, I think I can add it to the plans from here, right? Really? You're a stinker. Okay, let's add it to the plan, because I know in the future if I don't do this, there'll be some time I'll just put an onion 2 from the plans and it won't have the upgrade, and then I'll be mad at myself, and then I'll go, why doesn't it have the upgrade? Because I will have forgotten all about it, the fact that I changed it. All right, so we're taking this and we're going to show hide this, we're going to plans, and we're going to add this to the plans. All right, now it's safe. Yeah, I know. I'm Big Boss is pointing out that he remembers me changing something and then forgetting, and yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. I had that between the Onion 1 and the Onion 2, which was a dumb thing too because to name them similarly. Okay, now we're going in here for real. It doesn't take much to confuse me. It does not change much to confuse me, that's for sure. All right, so let's see. Come on. Up we go. Okay, you're gone. And we're looking at this contract here. So we have 2 contracts we're interested in. One is not these SCANsat ones. Relay satellite about the moon and position a specific satellite about the moon. Now the position of specific satellite around the moon does have specific orbital parameters. So the whole plan is going to be, I'm going to build a series of 3 of these, and I'm going to put the launcher into this orbit, which is actually quite high, and then we'll bring it down to the orbit that we want. So I'm going to get started by actually just building just the, let's get rid of you, just the individual little satellite. I'm going to start with, which one of these? It's the Octo that's the higher, yes it is, right? The Octo's the higher quality one. I'm always getting those mixed up. I see upgrades written in red. Where does it say SAS? This is SAS in the prograde retrograde lock. So there, this is the one we want. So what we're going to do, zoom in here. This is going to be just a single satellite. So what's it going to need is going to need some antennas. So a single relay. And I find what works best for me are 2 of these guys. This might not be the final. I'm just slapping stuff on right now. 2 communication relays like that. That should do it. Now it's got reaction wheels built in, so I don't have to worry about that. But I do have to worry about electricity. So let's turn on that these are in the planner. We'll open up our Kerbalism planner. And if I put this in the dark, I can see that this will run out of electricity in about 4 minutes. And I did a little bit of working out, and 20 minutes sounds about safe for the orbit that I'm aiming for. So I want to put enough batteries on here to last for about 20 minutes. So I'm going to put on one of these. I'm going to jack up the electrical density up to 75%. And now, oh, that's 22 minutes right there. So that's pretty good. There we go. So that's enough electrical charge. That's Z200. I could also, if I want to, later put on 2 of these Z100s. They'll be the same thing. So that's cool. I also got to think about electrical generation. So if I switch it to sunlight, we are consuming 1.38 units of electric charge per second. Let's see what we get if we just do the simple thing of a few of these guys. Like you. Oh yeah, this is an I'm wrapping a hexagon around an octagon, but it's okay. It's going to look okay. We'll end up moving these guys, but this is... Oh, see, that's plenty of electricity right there. So there we go. We should have electrical generation and electrical storage covered with that. Now I got to think about propulsion. And all this thing needs... I worked it out because all it's going to do is be dropped and then just do its final insertion. And it only needs about 30 meters per second for all of that. So what I think I'll do is I'm going to look at my fuel cans. I got to grab this one. I was playing with this before. The Stratus 5 minified monoprop can. And I'm actually going to keep it on monoprop. Let's stick it under here. I'm going to keep it on monoprop. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put on... Oh, under control. This is just keeping it... You want to build this as small and as light as you can because you're going to have 3 of them and then you're going to have to build a vehicle that's going to carry them. So I'm going to grab this place anywhere. Monoprop. Dooberdob. Like that. And we're going to adjust this. Get into the control. Show the actuation toggles. And we're not going to do yaw, pitch, or roll. Don't care. Don't care about port starboard or dorsal ventral. The only thing I care about is forward and aft. That's the only one. That's all it is. It's just for propulsion. Really, the forward's the only thing I care about. And then if you turn this one on, that forward is now connected to the throttle, just like a regular engine. So now, if I turn on RCS, I can now drive this like a regular engine. And that is great. Now, all of this is not balanced or anything. So to help with that, well, first of all, to get a help for the DV, I'm going to, because the DV is not showing up here, and although Kerbal Engineer has an RCS button, it never I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but it's not showing me the amount of delta V I have thanks to RCS, so that's not helping me, but RCS build aid will. If I switch this to forward, there we go. I can see here I have 213 meters per second of delta V. And so I can reduce this monopropellant. That's 60. That's 44. That might be a little tight. So I'm going to go with this. 66 meters per second of delta V. This is essentially, let's turn off the build aid. This is it. Now let's see if we can make this a little bit cleaner. So what I'm thinking about is getting one of these structural bits. Well, this is adding on some weight, so I'll have to check the delta V again. Sticking this on the bottom. Just anywhere around here. Get it close to the middle. We'll balance everything in a little bit, because I know for a fact that that will be unbalanced. And then just kind of tuck it up. So it looks kind of like it's just built inside, yeah, there, like that. So that's kind of looks like it's kind of built inside a structure. I like that. I can see right away this is not. Don't trust me. Don't worry. I'll look at the numbers soon enough. Maybe take that. Oh, there. Look at. That's lovely. I like that a lot. And then I might also take these 2 guys. What if I put them on the battery? I don't know why it did that. Okay, one of them doesn't seem to want to go down, but I think that looks okay. Extend this again. Retract. I like them pointing up. I'm getting some sort of weird thing like that. I hope. Maybe what I need to do actually is just take this off and then put it on again. There we go. I think so. Okay, let's check the balance, because I'm sure there's a torque on this. So RCS build aid gives us a little bit of a torque. You can see a 0.027 kilonewton meters. It's not bad, but we can make it better. We can click on this tank and we can try and move it around. Get that. Get it. I saw 0.012. What if I move it this way? Oh, 0.08. Oh my god, that's 0. You don't have to get it that perfect, but I'm just gonna stop right there. Beautiful. So this is all balanced. This is myself a Mooncom relay. And I don't think I'm really missing anything. Oh, I should check the DV again, because I did put on... Oh no, it's still 67 meters per second, or 66 meters per second at delta V. No, fewer sides are the better core? Really? The hex is better than the octo? I don't know if I want to move it now. The hex is better, so the fewer the sides, the better the core. You would think I would have noticed that by now in this game. So you're saying the hex is better. I think I'm also getting confused with the... This says prograde. I don't know if it makes much of a difference with the Kiwi tech tree. They both have the prograde retrograde hold on them. I'm gonna leave it. I don't. You're probably right, but I just don't want to change it. Okay, change that to gold. What about you? I got simple repaint. Can we change this to just a color that's... Agree. I'm just don't want it white. You know what? Let's there. That's sort of beige, an exciting color beige. We'll keep them beige. But basically, that's my satellite. Oh, lights. Oh, do I have lights? Do I have? I don't have lights unlocked yet. So sorry, no lights yet. So that's it. That's it. I think that is going. Let's just go through my probe checklist. I'm not going to put KOS on this guy. It's not going to do any science, but I should take a look at the science configuration anyway and make sure that there aren't... Yeah, take whatever experiments there are out, because that's just weight that I don't need. There's no experiments to turn on. Data storage... Ooh, no, there's no science being collected. Data storage is not an issue. Sample slots, communications is fine. Electrical storage and generation is fine. Part upgrades, I don't... Oh, there is an up... Oh, it's already really, really reliable. It hardly has to burn, so that's not an issue. Attitude control is fine. Lights, no lights. Did the painting. TWR, I didn't even look what the TWR is, but it really shouldn't be an issue. Does it give me a TWR? It's 2 kilonewtons on something that has a mass of 300. So 200. It's fine. It's fine. I think it's under 1, but doesn't matter. And staging, there are no stages. Okay. So this is one of these satellites. So let's open up our... Oh, have I not used any sub-assemblies yet? Oh my gosh. I'm going to grab a decoupler. Really doesn't matter what I grab. Oh, it's going to be like that. I hope that's not going to be a problem. We'll test it. But either way, what I'm going to do is make that decoupler the root part. I'm not even sure if this is necessary to do this anymore now, to be honest. No, it used to be, but I might have been able to just drop it in there as it was. Do that. And this is a Mooncom relay. Okay. So save that. And we'll go new. Don't save. So, next. Next. Okay, now I will use the hex probe core. People are telling me it is the superior core. We'll put that inside one of these 1.25 meter service bays. We'll open that up. We'll put a fairing on the top. a 1.25 meter fairing. We will turn on the interstage nodes. Like so. And we'll get ourselves a TD-06 decoupler. We'll put that there, and then we'll just start grabbing these MoonCom relays. So that's going... You know what? I just realized I should put them in upside down. That's what I should do. Okay. Sorry. Let's go new just for a sec. Oh, no. I know what I can do. Grab that back. I want the node on the top rather than... So I'm going to put that there. We're going to put another decoupler on the top. This will make sense in a second. Let's turn off the interstage nodes. I just have too many thingies. Make that interstage node the root part. Throw this away. Grab that and throw that onto here and replace it. Go new again. Okay, let's do this again. Hex core. Little service bay. 1.25 meter fairing. Interstage nodes on. TD-06 decoupler. And now I should be able to put these on upside down. There we go. That's better. And then I want to turn the force on these right off. So you're just sort of letting them go. You're not giving them a chunk. Okay. Oh, the decoupler is going to be attached to this. So the decoupler is not attached to the... so somebody's asking, you should check your DV again now that the decoupler is on there. But the decoupler is attached to the main vessel, not to the little probe. But now what I should be able to do is just copy that. Boink. Copy that. Boink. We'll put a fairing around that in just a little bit. I might just turn these. Just looking at that. Just so the antennas are not against this structure. So that when it comes time to release them, I can open up the antennas and they won't be... You know, the antennas have room to expand, is what I'm saying. There we go. And we should be able to build a fairing around that. That should be ducky. Okay, these are good. This is going to be our moon probes. Moon relays, I'm sorry, plural. All right, and now there is that guy in there. I think a small set of reaction wheels I think would be in order, but I don't think I need the big ones. Small inline reaction wheels. Just tuck them right in there. Are there upgrades or any other kind of thing? Oh, there's the quality. That's how long they last. I don't care about that. Good, good, good. Okay. So there, I'm going to give it a single Communitron antenna. I know you're looking at going, there's all kinds of antennas, but at some point I'm going to deorbit this vehicle. So I want it to be a little autonomous. So I'm just going to put on one of these antennas just very briefly, just a single one. This is just so I have control of it. I think I'm going to put the solar panels in there. I think that's what I'm going to do. Actually, I think what I'm going to do, change it. I'm going to rotate. Ah. Okay. I'm going to take. No. Okay, I got the whole thing the wrong. Make this the root part. Good. I'm going to take this. Rotate. Beautiful. That's exactly what I wanted. And then this guy can go here. Because I wanted a nice flat surface to put these guys on. So I'm going to put on 2 solar panels. I'm hoping this will be nice and clean. No, 2 solar panels. Let's do that. Take the snap off. We'll slide them to the left. About halfway. I guess that's to the right, but you know what I meant. Grab it again, put the snap on, snap that right in there, about here. Slide these ones the other way. And I had two-way symmetry on, so that I got the same on the other side. So the idea here is for the solar, it's just, I don't know, it's fairly clean. Now don't forget I got, oh, they're too big. I gotta move that. Okay, so let's fix that. I got solar all the way up this thing, so this thing's not gonna need electricity for very long. I probably could have gotten away without putting solar on it at all, but will that close cleanly now? What if I tuck them in a bit? I think that'll do it. You too. There we go. That looks clean. Gonna need... Why no McJeb before KOS? I'm not a big McJeb person. And I find on the stock scale, I really enjoy KOS. On Realism Overhaul, I wasn't going to start pretending that I knew how to put things into orbit in a real scale. But, no, I don't have McJeb here. I'm just not, and there's nothing against McJeb, it's just myself personally. I just know if I put in McJeb, I just would never use it, so it's not going on. That's, I guess that's the end of that. Where can I stick some batteries that they're relatively out of the way? That looks a little clippy, but we might move them later, but it's good enough for now. Okay, so now it's time to put some propulsion on this fella. So, I did work out a budget. And it's $920 to get to the moon, $170 for the initial capture into the orbit to satisfy this contract that we have here, and then another $150 to get it into the orbit I need to start dropping satellites with. If I add that all up, that comes out to $1,240, and then I'm going to add on about another $1,000 so it'll deal with the upper part of the orbital insertion. That's the plan anyway. Now let's see how that works. So we'll put on a couple of cans, stick a Terrier on the bottom. I'm looking for about 2,240 meters. Oh my gosh, that's already way over. I'm excited about that. 2,226? That's beautiful. Like with a thrust to weight that's through the roof. Oh, can I get away with a smaller engine? Can I get away with a little pug engine? Little pug engine, you're my friend. I can get away with a smaller can than that. Oh my gosh. I wouldn't have I would not have expected this stage to be as small as this. 2,000, still a huge thrust to weight. My next one down is the Spark. What is the Tiger? Okay, that's a turbofan. I got distracted. No. The Tiger turbofan. The Spark. Oh my gosh. How can that be right? Is the Spark got more thrust than the... That's 20 kilonewtons. That's 25 kilonewtons. Wow. Okay, but much less DV. Wait a minute. What's happening here? Okay, I think my staging's weird. That's what's going on. I'm getting exciting because my staging is idiotic. It doesn't know what's what. It doesn't know what's what. There we go. Okay, 2,316 with the Pug. Why it's so much less with the Spark? Spark is 305. Oh, because it's putting it in a dumb spot. Still way less. I don't understand that. The vacuum ISP is 305. This one's 330. Okay, so I guess it's just that ISP difference. Okay. All right, we'll go with the Pug. We'll go with the Pug. I wouldn't mind sneaking a smidge. You know what? No, we'll leave it. This is good. This is good. The Pug has fuel in the tanks. Ah, ha, ha, ha. That's what's going on. Okay. Okay, let me see again. Maybe the Spark isn't a dumb idea then. That's why. There's fuel in here. Thank you. So if I added on more fuel... That's a little too much. But what am I doing for mass here? Let's see. That's 2,637. I think I'm just going to go with the pug. I think it's just simpler. Keep it simple. Keep it simple, stupid. I think I'll just go with this. I'm happy with that. I want to fix this antenna. Just noticing it. Point it down. I just want to get it so the doors will close cleanly around it. Extend that antenna. Slide her up a little bit. There we go. And then when we retract it, you should close nice. Beautiful. Okay. I think I'm going to stick with this. I think it's pretty good. Pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. Okay, so now, for an entire mission, did I ever write this down? I don't know if I did. I got to get up my calculator. What am I thinking about? I wrote 2,240, but I never added on the 36. Okay. So I got to get out my calculator just for a sec for a total budget. Can't believe I didn't write this down. So 1,240 plus about 3,600 to get to orbit, which is generous. Oh, if I can get up in around 48, 40, 48, even 5. Let's see. T-12 decoupler. What does that look like on there? Oh, does it? Oh, wait, I missed. That's a miss. Missed again. There we go. Okay, that looks good. Also should build this fairing, shouldn't I? This fairing looks to me like it can just go straight up. Like so. Okay, let's go to 3 sides. A lot of force. That's a big fairing. Clamshell deploy. Okay, and I'll keep the fairing in the staging for now, though I'll change that in just a little bit. Okay. I'm going to go back to my cheaty Mark 1 fuel cans. Where are you? Cheaty Mark 1 fuel cans. There you are. There you are, my little pretties. Edit those tanks. Take that out. This is like the best mod ever. Alright, there we go. We got liquid fuel and oxidizer in them. Put a few of those on there. Swivel on the bottom. I'm hoping I'm getting close. I'm hoping I'm getting close to what we need. Oh my gosh. Alright, what do we got here? For total delta V. Why is this? Okay, the staging's goofed. That's why. Nothing like putting a fairing on this to really... Oh, you know what? Oh dear. I think... Oh dear. No, no, no. This is right. Never mind. I thought for a second I had... Never mind. That one. That I'd staged all these satellites and that's why that... There we go. That's not nearly as much delta V as I had before. Why? Why? Oh, because this would be staged before that would come on. That makes a huge difference where that fairing's being staged. That's a lot of fairing weight. Okay. 4849. That's not bad. Let's get it a little bigger. I still got a ton of thrust. There we go. That's a lot. That's plenty. Let's stick in some reaction wheels. Oh, KOS probe core should go right in here. Even though KOS has not been my pal of late. That added a lot. Yoicks. Let's move this again. That's 2,000. Okay, I think I need a little bit more fuel in here now suddenly. A little bit more fuel. Where can I hide a smidge more fuel in here? I got these little hemisphere dudes. They're cute. What did I say again? 2,240. Maybe 3 of them. Tuck them in a little bit. So, TWR is still fine. Okay, we'll tuck this back on. And it's 5,000 meters per second. Thrust to weight's a little sketchy. Maybe a little bit of a smaller can up here. I don't know why, I'm suddenly getting like a bit of a lag playing. I don't know if my stream, it might be something on my computer suddenly is just... I want a little more here. I think I'm good. I'm closing in on it. Come on down. Okay. Put that on the boat tail because it always looks better. Fins on the bottom. Nope, those are a little off kilter. There we go. Upgrade the pug. Very good point, because that pug's going to be doing all kinds of stuff. Thank you. Let's upgrade that pug engine from that to high. Thank you very much. That was a very good call. Do I still have enough TWR? I barely do. This is just there. Launch clamps on the bottom here. Alright, and let's see what we can do here with staging. We're going to deal with some smart parts to deal with the staging. So the DrainX fuel sensor is going to go right here. Just a single one will do. And that fuel sensor will stage when this tank runs dry. And then I'm going to put an altimeter one, Alt Pro altimeter. And it's going to go right here. And come on. And it's going to stage at 50 kilometers. Or no, not stage, I'm sorry. It's going to activate Action Group 5. And then on Action Group 5, I'm going to put those fairings. And then on Action Group 0, we're going to put these doors. And we'll deploy that one little communitron. Okay. Close that, close that, close that, close that. It is ugly as sin. We'll see if we put some nicer... Jeepers creepers. There. Put some nicer textures on here in just a little bit, but I just want to see that this works. Take the fairing out of the staging. And boot file here for KOS is going to be, I got basic boot, load soft boot. That loads software, yep. Load soft boot is the one. Alright. Auto strut this spaghetti. Nah, I don't know. We'll see. I don't think auto strutting will be necessary, but we'll see. It's not that big. It should be good. I want to just really quick, if I put on Visual Studio just real fast, I made a little change here that seemed to just mess it up entirely, so I'm going to change this back. I'm not quite sure what happened there. If I made that change in the wrong spot, but somewhere we're going to save that. And then we can put this back off again. We'll give it a test. This is just going to be a test if this thing can get into orbit. So save it. Simulate. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how she goes. Yeah, the fairing will be gone by the time we get to the moon. So the fairing will be, yeah. So most of that upper stage won't have the fairing on. So we'll be losing a lot of weight during this ascent. We'll get this into orbit. We'll see how much DV it has and whether it'll have enough to do the job. And if it does, then I think everything's good. All right, so we will run this. Run orbit. Don't need to look at contracts right now. Okay, and we are off. It is an ugly looking thing, so we'll get in here and try and change some textures and stuff, make it look a little bit. Especially this middle section here looks just terrible. That there. All right. See, it doesn't need any auto strutting. It's fine. The one thing that might be an issue is when you get big fairings, it's a lot of drag up here at the top, and sometimes that can affect the stability of the whole thing, but we'll see. Might flip out, but I don't think it will. I don't think it will. Again, another one that's just... This happened last week, too, when we built that other satellite that went to the moon for doing those magnetometer probes. This just looks smaller than what I was expecting it to be. I expected this whole thing to be bigger. I'm not complaining. I'm just surprised. Okay, so it's now again reducing that throttle. That's the part that got a little weird last time, but hopefully it'll be okay this time. Okay, let's do a little bit of time warping to the next event. Okay, should be seeing the fairings. Oh, no, we're going to stage this upper stage. We're going to lose this booster in just a little bit. And then the fairing will come soon after that. Alright, that is good. Now, how is the pug... I am losing my time to apoapsis a little bit. It's not... Oh, it's holding at 51 seconds. Oh, it's at 50 seconds now. As long as it doesn't get too low, everything's okay. There goes the fairings. That went all right. "47 seconds. It's at full thrust. 45 seconds. So the pug is working hard. Boy, I'm glad I didn't go with the wimpier, whatchamacallit, the spark that I was looking at. 41 seconds to apoapsis, 40 seconds to apoapsis. At some point, I would love to see this start going back up again. That would be super. Seems to be holding at 40 seconds. All right, now it's starting to climb again. So I think it's okay. It's okay. It's so nice to have, the lighter you can make this engine, the better. And we'll also test deploy all these satellites. Make sure, whoa, we are getting a major reduction in the throttle there. Okay. It's because it got up to 55 seconds to apoapse. Yeah, we'll test deploy each of these satellites, make sure that goes okay. Let's do another more time warping again. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That was the camera going all funky on me. Because our periapsis, we're almost in an orbit. Okay, that's 80 and by 61. So let's time warp here till we're out of the atmosphere. I might need to give a little bit more thrust. I might just close that off. A little bit more thrust because we're still in the atmosphere. Oh, I'm on that. There we go. Losing a little bit of altitude there. There we go. Okay. Oh, this isn't right. I have like no fuel left up here. How on earth? Okay, somewhere I messed up large. Somewhere I messed up large. Can you see that? Like 10 meters per second. There's okay. I knew something didn't feel right. I knew something didn't feel right. But there's almost no fuel left in this stage. So this stage definitely needs to get bigger. We'll test deploy these satellites, but this time, me feeling that it was too small was definitely the right thing. All these are, yep, there's no fuel left. Okay, SAS on, lock that to prograde. We'll still do the test deploy, but clearly some changes are going to have to be made here. At least let's see if we can get this periapsis out of the atmosphere. Okay. So I think some numbers were lying to me. I'm gonna blame the game because I always will blame the game rather than blame myself. So clearly this won't do because we have almost no fuel left. Let alone if we can get to the moon and do any of that kind of stuff. So let's get this into the sunlight. We'll test deploy, close that, test deploy all this stuff, try and figure out where we went wrong. So we can extend these. And jettison that. Jettison. Why won't you decouple? Decouple. What's the difference between jettison and decouple? Okay. So now if we go up to here, that should be a free ranger. See that? Yep. And just want to test that my RCS idea works. I'm looking at the time too, and I'm seeing I think I'm going to have to make the modifications next week. let's lock this to prograde, and let's just make sure at least what I want to work works. So that's locked to prograde. If I put on RCS and I throttle up, we should get thrust. See, that's what I want. That's the idea. Back to you. Let's make sure all of these will go okay. So we will decouple this one. You can see now why I turned down the reaction force. That worked. And we will decouple this one. And that works. So these all decouple fine. Just need to make this stage bigger. But I'm looking at the time of the stream, and I'm looking at, I think those modifications are going to have to wait until next week. Sorry, didn't get quite as far as I was hoping to today. We did get the rescue done, but deploying these satellites are going to have to be the first mission for next week. So in the meantime, I want to thank everybody that's in the chat. I want to thank everybody that's watching this at a later date. And of course, and as always, a very, very special thank you to all of my Patreon patrons and YouTube members who continue to support this series. Have yourself a fantastic week, and we'll see you all next Tuesday. Bye, everybody.